Right here.
Yeah, voice is alive now.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Uh-oh, indeed.
So what do I do? I've never been on a podcast before. I don't know how this works. Am I supposed to talk to them?
Just sit back, relax, strap in, and Robin will show you the ropes. just get worried when he asks you to pull your pants down.
No. I'm afraid now.
Yeah, well, he does it in PUBG, so.
That's true.
Actually, that's really inappropriate. I feel uncomfortable about that, and I have to stop it. I do feel
But
uncomfortable.
you can't stop
Oh,
it,
here,
you're still doing it. You said that last week and you're still doing it.
Just quickly, sorry, before we start, I spent about 3 hours today and about 4 hours yesterday doing a spreadsheet of every single game that was entered on the Year of Living Game Industry.
Wow.
And there was 511 games. 510 games and 511 completions.
Wow.
But the what it done was the games that were completed and the games that were on people's lists that they wanted to complete but didn't.
Right.
Yeah. So I will be doing a wee podcast, but just for your information, the top game of completions was Battlefield 1.
Right.
Yeah.
Gears of War 4.
Yeah,
Call of Duty Infinite, Titanfall 2. Then you had things like Far Cry Blood Dragon, Metro 23, Rise, Unravel, and Doom in the top 10.
Interesting.
But if you go to the games that people wanted to complete, the top one that they wanted to complete but didn't was The Witcher 3.
Because it's so big and it's so daunting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Battlefield 1 also, which was the one that was the most completions. Then Fallout 4, Titanfall 2, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Gears of War 4, Unravel, Doom, Metal Gear Solid, and Life is Strange in the top 10. But just looking at some of the stats is just really odd. You know, really, it's very when it all comes together, it was very interesting to see it all. And also not rattled home to me. What are all these people doing? You know, they just keep on buying. They
Save it for the podcast.
No, not for this one. Not for this.
All right.
Oh. Okay, well, let's go.
Right, here we go.
I think we're just getting started. Medic! I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Good evening to the last Overseas Connection podcast of this year. This is episode 455 of the Overseas Connection. We're recording on December the 30th, 2017. The Overseas Connection is a gaming podcast for those of us who are just a bit odd, really. But we're friends and we love talking about games. We love making friends with each other and encroaching on other people's lives awkwardly at times. We go out live, usually about 11 o'clock in the UK every week, 3 p.m. on the west coast of America, 6 p.m. on the east coast, and 10 a.m. tomorrow in Wollongong in Australia. So if you're listening over in Wollongong, good morning. Tonight, as well as me, Robin Tate, Bongo the Sane, your host, I have Mark Annex, as always, spinning the decks, doing a great job. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Robin. Hello, everyone. Yes, Mechanics on everything, Steam, Xbox Live, PSNs, Twitters. Hope everyone had a really good Christmas, and it's New Year weekend.
And we also have, sitting in the back seat, being a baby driver tonight, being a backseat driver, hopefully not, is Greg DeLacy. Greg, you're in a strange seat tonight. Oh my God, the noobs.
Amateurs,
Absolute noobs. You're muted, Greg.
No, not really. But I wanted to just have a little fun. Thanks for having me on, Robin. It's a pleasure to be on this podcast. I've heard good things about you guys, so I'm excited to be here. And I'll add in where I can. I'm kind of new to this thing, so yeah. This is a new experience for me, being a backseat driver. That is.
This is really sad. That's getting old now. Come on, you're just relaxing tonight. You're taking the foot off the pedal.
Oh, totally,
You've been
man.
eating too. So, I mean, it has been Christmas week, and I can tell you now, I'm getting sick of the sight of food. I've been off. I have been off since way before Christmas. I'm off until next Tuesday, and I want to go back to a normal routine. I hate to say it. I want to go back to work. I want to go back to normal diet. All this lovely, gorgeous food that we've had and socializing and stuff. It's been great, but goodness, I feel like a bloated pig. I think you are the same.
Yeah, the food part, it hasn't let up since Thanksgiving. That's the bigger problem for me. I mean, for you guys, you don't have the Thanksgiving buildup, so you know, the end of November we have this glutton of food that hits us with Thanksgiving. We've got lots of leftovers, and it leads right into the Christmas time where we start having Christmas parties. You start getting, candy and goodies being sent to you and sent home and brought home and baked. And and then it, of course, culminates in New Year's where, it's alcohol and more food, and it's all good.
I kind of think that we may end up, celebrating Thanksgiving in a year or two because you've already got us with Black Friday, and that's sort of tied. That's tied in. So I mean, Thanksgiving's not a complete push. The way this country's going, I wouldn't be surprised if that is what it was. Yeah. So look, did Santa Claus come to your houses? Did he bring you anything nice, Mark?
I got a few little things. I got a couple of games. One I bought digitally with some money I got. So I got Super Lucky Tales with some money I got. I got a copy of the PS4 exclusive Uncharted Lost Legacy on disc. So that was a nice surprise. I'm looking forward to that because I love the original Uncharted, so Uncharted 4 and that. So yeah, I got, what else did I get? I got a boot tidy for my car to keep all my junk in because it's flying around at the moment, and I got a new fitness monitor. To track my steps and my calories and everything, my heart rate, because I know it's a cliche, but in January next week I will be losing weight. I need to lose weight for my health. I'm having a few issues with certain things and I'm well overweight, so I am determined next week I'm losing weight over the next year.
Excellent.
So I've set myself a target, and then this time next year, if I haven't lost weight, then I'll be very upset, and I'll be.
You see, Mark, you've given me an idea.
Year of slimming dangerously.
Yes, the year of slimming dangerously. We'll maybe do a weigh-in every week. We'll track our steps.
I will tell you my steps, and I will tell you how much I've lost. I'm not going to say my weight because it's embarrassing. But it's a lot.
No, don't. No, you're a lot of man to love. Yeah. Well, that's something I will ponder over. Greg, did Santa Claus come to you? I can't believe he did.
I'm offended.
Why?
Come on.
You're not surprised.
No, not really. Santa did visit. Santa came, and I had asked for some new bowling equipment, so I have a new 3-ball bag. That sounds.
You got a
terrible,
ball bag?
But yes, I got a ball bag.
I've only got 2 in my ball bag.
Yeah, no. I have a bag that has wheels on it that I can now roll my bowling balls with me as I go into the alley, as opposed to carrying it over my shoulder, which honestly, carrying 60 pounds worth of bowling balls is not fun. So yeah, that's it's all good.
Please,
and then
tell
I got
me
new shoes.
The other and a purple onesie with Jesus on it.
Yes, that absolutely, yes, yeah. No, probably the funniest thing I got for Christmas, and I think there is a message that's trying to be sent to me, and I don't know, I'm not getting it, so maybe you guys can help me out with this.
All right.
But Cindy bought me a T-shirt that says on it, "I am a proud man of a fantastic wife." and I don't get it. I'm
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Judith bought me a new pair of cufflinks that say "Lost
Take me
Husband"
out
on
more?
one side.
Oh.
Yeah, return to the wife, or if found, return to the wife, something like that. There, yeah, just,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. I also got a second T-shirt, which ties into your cufflinks, actually, Robin. That says, "In my defense, I was left alone."
That's quite good. I like that. It's subtle. No, I love my cufflinks. I got a couple of pairs of cufflinks this year. I got some gads. I got some nice gads. I got a thing called a Rocket Book. I like the little A5 small notebooks, and when I'm out on site or whatever, taking notes or meetings. But I end up having this bag in the back of or this box, like your sortie box, Mark.
Yeah.
And I probably have 50 little notebooks in it. So this thing called a Rocket Book, it's the same size, looks like a normal book. There's about 20 odd pages in it, and you write away as normal with there's a special pen. Just they're pretty standard.
I've heard of
but
these,
special pen.
It transmits to your phone, doesn't it?
Yeah, so what you do, there's an app on my phone, and there's a barcode on each page, and you take like a quick photograph of it. It scans outside of the page, very, very quick. And at the bottom of the page, it's kind of manual. You know, there are 8 icons, and you write your note and you put your X. So that's going to the accounts folder, or that's going to the sales meetings folder, or that's going by email to my design department, or that's OC podcast note ideas. And when you take the photograph of the page, it goes, whoom, fires it off as a JPEG or a PDF to those folders automatically. And then you can wipe with just a wet paper towel or a baby wipe. You can wipe the pages clean. And
Okay.
I'm looking forward to using it out in the wild, because it's kind of halfway between an electronic book and I suppose though the thing about it is you could take a normal photograph of a notebook, but you would have to email it and then sort it. This automatically sorts it into folders,
Right.
pre-assigned. So that's neat. And the other thing that we got, and I mentioned before, but we actually got now our Mavic, our drone, our Mavic
Right.
Pro drone, and we had it out on the north coast up near Portrush, seaside town. Beautiful crisp day on. Who knows what day it is?
It was the
the
28th, Robin. It was the 28th, and I put it on stream right now.
Oh,
Because
right.
it is
Okay.
beautiful,
Oh, all right.
beautiful footage.
Yeah.
Now,
So
we can't show the footage of you spying on your neighbor, right? That we're not allowed to do.
no, that was the first day. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's a fantastic piece of kit. Now, saying that, when I was flying it out over the sea over those surfers, I'm looking to myself going, "Holy fuck, that's £1,000 flying over the sea."
Gives your ass twitching like a bunny's nose.
Right.
Yeah, I was a bit nervous because the distance is phenomenal. I'm starting to get my head around it. First day, I flew it over to my brother-in-law and sister-in-law's house, which is about a mile away from here.
Wow.
And they came out of the house and they were waving up, and that's. And then I also done one. It's class. You can.
I love the return to home button you've got where it lands itself.
Yeah. Oh, and it's easy even without that. It's lovely to land. But
I watched
was
that live
streaming-
bit you did. Yeah.
Yeah, streaming from this drone straight to Facebook or YouTube. That's just phenomenal. It's just crazy.
The picture quality, the video quality on that Facebook live feed you
Yeah.
did was amazing.
Better than my
Well,
flipping thing.
Fly
I
it
don't
on
know.
over here, Robin. Fly it on over here, and I'll wait for you.
Well, you know what? If I'm gonna hopefully do a lot more, it'll come with me in my travels. So look forward to that. So
Amazing.
So Christmas is
bit,
good. The kids had a great time. We've had a lovely time. We had 25 people here for Christmas dinner. That was kind of nutty. Christmas Day was
That is a lot.
Shock-
That is a lot.
shockingly busy day. So there was the kids all sort of sat down in one sitting, and then the adults had the second sitting, sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah, that was a busy day. It started on Christmas Eve. It's peeling like a massive full big sack of spuds and veg prep and all the stuff that was, oh God, but it was great. It was a brilliant day. But with Boxing Day, we hardly moved. We sat and we drank. Goldschlager seemed to be the thing this year.
All right.
And lots of wine. So yeah, it was lovely, good Christmas. For us, I know, Mark, you've had challenges this year. For us, as the Tate family, we've had a good year this year. So it's been good. I hope I can rub some of my luck onto your guys this year, Mark. So
Yeah, I'm hoping next year is going to be a better year for us. I'm
think
positive
it
in my
can't
mind.
possibly be.
Yeah. Yeah, I've said that before, but it has got worse. So yeah, I'm thinking positive.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, positive vibes.
So, Mark, we were chatting on the WhatsApp. You were going to go and see Star Wars. Did you go and do that?
I did. I went to see it today. I did. If you listen to the Game Punches, I did exactly what Steve did, which I love doing. I booked the Extreme Cinema screen at the local View Cinema with the superb Dolby Atmos surround sound with the leather reclining seats and absolutely
I just fall asleep.
It's an amazing cinema.
Yeah.
No, the screen is huge. It is the biggest screen I've ever seen. Yeah, and we watched Star Wars, The Last Jedi, and I don't know what I was going to expect today because I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, it's boring. I didn't like it," but I loved it. I really, really loved it. A lot of action. People were saying it's boring, but I didn't find it boring. I just, mind you, I love any sort. I'm quite easygoing when it comes to films anyway. Pacific Rim's a good example. But there was a trailer for Pacific Rim 2, and I was wetting myself over that. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it.
It's a really good sci-fi action movie.
Yeah.
I don't know how good a Star Wars movie it is.
No.
And that's the old purist in me. And
Yeah.
I may be too old for it.
But
So it's a
yeah, I get the feeling these three movies are setting up the new characters, and then the next trilogy after this, it's gonna get good story-wise. I think we're just setting up the backstory for these new characters, and then all the old characters are fucking them off and whatever. So
Well, it makes sense if you think about
absolutely,
it. I mean,
yeah.
Luke
How old is?
Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, they were all our generation.
Yeah.
When we were kids.
I was
So-
9 years old when the first Star Wars came out. I
Yeah.
remember, and I'll never forget, it was the first time I went to the cinema to watch a proper movie, not like a Disney cartoon. My dad took me, we were on holiday in Bridlington. We went to the Winter Garden Cinema, which is no longer there. Yeah, and we watched Star Wars on our summer holiday, on a rainy day, and I was absolutely gobsmacked. My dad's always been into sci-fi and gadgets, and ever since then I've been a sci-fi freak. I love space and stuff.
I mean, we all have our stories. Again, I went with my parents. We were on holiday in Ayr in Scotland, which back then everybody from Northern Ireland went to Ayr. Now, that's like getting off the boat and driving 3 miles. You know, a bit more, but it's like you're not really in Scotland. It's a tiny little town. But I always remember my father coming out of the cinema, and I suppose my father was my age, maybe a bit younger then. I suppose, yeah. And he was old, suppose, like we're younger now than my parents would be at my age, sort of thing. But I remember the look on his face, like, what the fuck was that, sort of thing. You know, he had no idea. But I was like, you know, fishing rod, hook, line, and sinker. Right. That was me. It was just like nothing we'd ever seen before, you know. And from that point onwards, I suppose sci-fi was it. I mean, before then, sci-fi was weird, sort of slow movies, you know, Capricorn 6 and all that sort of stuff. And
Logan's Run.
Logan's Run, and when sound effects only started to come in, and there were like synthesizer noises, you know. So yeah, did you go to see it when it first came out, Greg?
Yeah. No, we had some theaters out in San Jose area that were called the Century Winchester Theaters. They were right next to the Winchester Mystery House. For those of you who know what that is, that's a very famous. We're dovetailing this giant story now. So the Winchester Mystery House, just for factual sake, is a house that was built by the widow of I forgot the gentleman's first name, but it was Mr. Winchester, who built the Winchester repeating rifle, and she built this house and believed it was haunted, and so she kept building more and more rooms onto this mansion to basically lure the ghosts into these other rooms so they wouldn't be able to find her. So in this house, there are staircases that lead up to nothing. They literally lead up to the ceiling where it's just closed off. There are doors that literally opened out into the open air on the second and third story. So you could literally just fall right out if you weren't thinking or watching.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So that's next door to this. But the Century Theaters were 3 giant dome theaters. They looked like, in fact, in Empire Strikes Back, if you remember the ion cannons, they look like these giant domes with a gun mount. That's what these theaters look like. They're just these giant half dome theaters. And we waited outside in line for that movie. And then the subsequent Empire Strikes Back, I saw there as well. It literally would wrap around the building, just waiting in line for hours to get in and catch that. So, yeah. And it was a family event. Entire family.
So, were you mentioning Empire Strikes Back? A lot of people compared the first new movie, The Force Awakens, to the original Episode 4 with the Death Star and then this other planet thing. There were a few similarities to Empire Strikes Back in this one that I found.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
With the training and that. So.
Yeah, they're in a sense saying they're kind of redoing the original 3 movies, but they're just with new characters. And again, it makes total sense.
So
I mean, no spoilers. You know, Empire Strikes Back. You know, if you've seen the end of it. You know, when at the end of that movie, it's like everything is reset, sort of back to zero. We have this knowledge that we didn't have, and that's sort of on the lines of what happens with this. So.
I had a love-hate relationship with Empire Strikes Back for many, many years. I absolutely loved 2/3 to 3/4 of that movie. I absolutely hated that it ended on a cliffhanger and didn't wrap up in any meaningful way. I was so pissed off when that first came out. And now, of course, I appreciate it much better. But and that's because I can watch the 3rd movie. I can watch the subsequent movies. But yeah, I remember when it ended. I was just like, "What? It can't end that way."
So have you seen this new one, Greg? Then have you seen?
No, I have not.
Right, okay. Well, I'll say this without any spoilers, but there's one thing I picked up on and I was quite proud of myself for picking up on. So, Robin, right at the end, did you see what was in the drawer?
Pardon?
I aren't saying any more because I don't want to spoil it. Finn got something out of the drawer to help that girl. Did you see what was in the drawer?
Oh, I can't remember.
I'll tell you after then. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll private message it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spotted it straight away. My nephews didn't. I went with my nephews today, by the way. My nephews didn't, and I was so excited. I told them what it was and that, and we went, oh yeah. So if you watch it a second time on Blu-ray, when you watch it a second time, you'll pick up on it next time.
Okay, so it's good stuff. Yeah. Good. All right. So we have surprisingly us being off work for a bit here and there and having some time off over Christmas. I'm amazed at how little gaming time I've had over the Christmas period.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because
it's been frustrating, to be honest.
Well,
I
you're
expected
off,
I was going to be getting more.
Yeah, me too. I mean, if you were off and there was no kids, you were just off and you had the house to yourself, that'd be great. But the difference between being off is I have to get up, get Glenn up, which I do for school and pack him off. But every morning now it's get him up, get him dressed, get his breakfast, get the other boys sorted, then get myself sorted, then do all the chores that have to be done, the prep for the people that are coming later on. Again, the kids, because it's wet outside, can't go outside, so they're playing an Xbox. We have to entertain them. Yeah. Now, saying that, I got away out karting today. But, that was good. Anyway, so I was just surprised at how little time. And it's usually been my normal time is, 10 o'clock at night for a couple of hours. This seems to be the way it's been. So, but saying that, we've all played the biggie. And Greg and I have played some Wolfenstein together, and you've played some Forza Horizon 3 with your nephew who's around Australia.
Yeah.
Was that the snow? That's the snowy bit? I haven't done that bit yet.
No, that's just the main game. They do have a Hot Wheels pack, but they don't have the
Blizzard Storm,
Mountain,
something like that.
Blizzard Mountain, yeah. So, right, I'll tell you the story behind Forza 3 and Horizon 3. Kevin Fairweather on the PUBG chat. He or someone in his family must have got a new Xbox for Christmas, and it must have come with the Forza Horizon 3 with Hot Wheels code, which he already owns. So he put it up for offers on the WhatsApp group, and I messaged him, and he kindly sent me the code over. So I gave that to my nephews as an extra little Christmas bonus for them, because I know they want it and they've not played it. And we've been playing a lot.
It was almost snatched away.
Yeah.
It was almost snatched away.
Yeah,
His brother went, "Oh, you're not even going to give your brother a present?"
But he already had it.
I've seen that.
It was winding him up. He already had it, yeah. So big shout out to Kevin. But yeah, we've been playing a lot of this, and fucking hell, my nephews are good at the gaming now.
Oh, shit.
They are so good at games.
Sorry, you haven't, have you not, do you not have Forza Horizon 3?
I do.
We do. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had it from day one. But my nephews didn't have it, so I can play with them now.
Oh, for your nephews.
So
yes, of course.
They've got an Xbox One each, and obviously they game
slow.
share. So I can give one game to them. I also bought them PUBG for their main Christmas present, so they've got that as well. So they game share. So whatever I give to one, they both get. So it's double bonus, really.
Oh no.
But yeah, the youngest one, I'm saying youngest, is 16, is Liam. James is 18 now, believe it or not. Oh man, they played the Goliath circuit on the co-op campaign, the one what does the whole island, and he had it on expert AI, and I was struggling my nuts off, and they're in like first and second battling each other out and finishing way ahead of me. They are so good at games now. I've taught them well.
I love Goliath. I love Goliath.
Yeah.
I'll have to get on it if they're on it and play some laps of Goliath. Okay. Wolfenstein. Want to talk a wee bit about Wolfenstein? I've been playing more and more of it this year. Wolfenstein. Getting into it again. Starting to really enjoy it again. But I'm enjoying the cutscenes more than the gameplay. Is that weird?
Well,
is that odd?
No, because that's story, isn't it? You're enjoying the story.
It's not because it's such a well done story, and this is something that I think we didn't really talk a lot about when we were kind of slagging Wolfenstein, because I think all of us were a little bit let down by some of the gameplay. We were kind of like, God, it feels a little bit more the same, and so it really wasn't setting itself apart. But then the story really started to kick in as you got deeper into the game, and the cutscenes and the story being told in Wolfenstein is an elevation of what they did in the New Order. Wow. But to me, it's taken it to such another level, and they have created such good characters in this game. It is winning me over in ways there's two games that have really surprised me this year. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, it really kind of came back into fashion for me in a way that I wasn't expecting. And Wolfenstein, after my initial review, kind of thought of, I don't know, it's good, but I'm kind of, now I'm just like, yeah, it's good. It's good.
So I'm now a little bit ahead of you. You're in Area 51 or whatever it is, that sort of Area 52. Flash yourself back to the beginning of the game. Well, you seen at the start of the story, there was his father, flashbacks with his father beating his mother. You might have forgotten about that, but it'll come back to you. Yeah. Well, there's I'm not going to tell you what's all in it, but there's after a big set piece, you come and there's a flashback sequence, which is about, it must be 10 minutes long, 3 or 4 different things back to his childhood and his family, and it's just awesome to understand where the character came from, where his motivation was from, all of that. It's just brilliant, and it's so well done. I could sit and watch a movie of this character and his whole backstory now, because they're really bringing it to life. He was in the old games just this bland guy that shot everybody, and they're injecting all this really rich, beautiful story to it, and it's worth playing the game just for those moments.
Well, I'm going to steal a little bit from Giant Bomb. because I was listening to their end of the year, game of the year wrap up stuff, and they talked a lot about Wolfenstein, and I tried to avoid as much as I could the spoilers. But one of the interesting takes that they had on the game, which I kind of wholeheartedly buy into, is, BJ Blazkowicz is a Nazi killing machine, and in this game, they kind of, for lack of a better way to put it, in previous games, it's always kind of been like, you're the only one doing all the killing, and it's kind of like, why couldn't other people help out? Why are you the only one always going on the missions? But in this game, it's almost like they also give an explanation to it, in that they're all kind of like, look, dude, you're good at killing. You're good at killing Nazis. You're better than any of us at doing this. So you got to do it. And Gladys Knight and the Pips are here to help you. Yeah. But I mean, it makes the story kind of have that stickiness, that cohesion, and it wraps it nicely for me in a way that maybe the previous game didn't quite do it, because you had all these other soldiers with you, and it was never, you were never accompanied by them, and they didn't give any good explanations for that. It was always just kind of lone wolfing it. Whereas here, you kind of get the explanation of, you got the suit, you got the skills, you're the guy that's got to do this. So I and you gladly do it as BJ Blazkowicz, because you're good at killing Nazis. It's what you do.
But and you see him fighting with his own sanity almost, and his wife, and that she's having a child, and the worries about that, and what's going to happen to him, and what's going to happen at the end of all this, and then the backstory with his
there's a very human side of BJ Blazkowicz that comes out in this game, as well as the other characters. And again, I don't want to discount. These guys went above and beyond the Call of Duty. I hate to say that, but they did, to create these other characters that are very fleshed out, that, frankly, you can miss a lot of that, interaction if you're not looking for it. But it's great when you stumble across it, So anyway, Wolfenstein 2, a fantastic game.
Well worth picking up. Lots of really good deals on the PlayStation Store and on Steam and on Xbox still for the next couple of days.
Yeah. Absolutely
some really, really good discounts. I mean, I have dipped in a bit. I did buy over Christmas Ghost Recon Wildlands. Just finished downloading.
I haven't put it on my list, but I've actually started that, but I've not played much of it. That's why I've not put it on my list. But yeah, so far I'm really impressed.
And I also dipped into last night into Far Cry Primal for $12.99.
Yeah, I played that recently. I found it to become a bit of a drag later on, but I really enjoyed it, and not as much as Phil Olsen. Yeah, E1000G'd it. But I liked it.
I'm looking at the games that I have to play next year, and some of them are rolling on from my YOG list. But I have I've created a problem, because the games that I didn't play earlier on this year are now so cheap that I'm already building up a backlog for 2018, but it's a really classic backlog.
Yeah.
So sort of getting into that and the sort of winding up of 2017, we like a list. This is sort of a newsy list, but it is a list. So I have a list here of the best-selling video games of 2017.
We're going to talk about PUBG.
Oh, shit.
Because there's been a few changes, haven't there? There's been a couple of changes.
Cut that out. Cut that bit out. Field yes, PUBG. Okay. PUBG. We have the main thing that we have been playing this week, pretty much every day, afternoon, evening, or if you're in Australia in the early morning. We've had such a ball. Greg and I, especially, we've played 2 or 3 times now. We've had Fraser, Mark, Stan, and last night, even alone, it was just awesome. The played 3 different rounds, and the first 2 rounds we were traveling across a map. We got the first one we had 3 cars, and the second time we had 4 cars. It was a convoy, and we circled the wagons at one stage, and it was brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And then the third game, Greg DeLacy decides to parachute into one of the most hostile areas ever. Mark and I bug out.
Yeah, we bailed out Weston.
And go,
Bastards.
and go half a mile up the street, and we get shot immediately, but we recover and hide out in this house for nearly the whole game until almost the very end.
We fell lucky
And we
with a
get to-
circle. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
and
I just want to point out. So it was my turn to call out where we are going to go, and I said let's go into one of the most
prison.
hostile places, the prison, because one of the things that to get good at PUBG, one of the other things you need to do is you need to practice.
Yeah, you need
to
battle experience. Yeah, absolutely.
You need to get some battle experience, and so I set our coordinates to land in the prison. I was like, all right, let's do this. And as we're going down, I was the first. I was leading the pack in terms of the flight down, and all of a sudden I hear Robin and Mark being like, "There's all kinds of guys going there."
There's about 30
Forget that.
parachutes, man.
Get that. And I'm like, I had no choice at this point, right? I'm screwed. So I get down, I land, and of course I hear you guys say, "Oh my God, there's so many parachutes! There's so many parachutes!" And then you guys go off on your own, and of course now I'm like scared crapless because we're playing squads. So I know every team I come across is going to be probably 3 or 4 people at least. It's not going to be a situation of I'm one-on-one against somebody else. So I get in there, I start finding gear, and of course I'm finding like a level 2 helmet, I found a level 2 backpack, I found a level 3 vest. So I was like, sweet, I'm pretty well geared up in that respect, but no guns, not one gun for like the first minute of searching. And then finally I find a pistol, and I'm like, I'm hosed. I've got a pistol. I'm in the middle of the prison. And so I just lay down at one point in this room, hoping nobody comes in. And suddenly I just start hearing gunfire all around me. I'm seeing people dying. You know how they list as people as they're getting killed up in the corner. And finally the gunfire gets down to a little bit of a lull. And I venture out, and of course you guys have had your battle, and you're already on your healing side of things, and you're getting better. And I'm walking out thinking, okay, I'm going to try and get to you guys. Of course, I walk out the door, and I walk into 2 squads that had fought one another, and I see this one guy on the ground, and he's looting another guy, and I did not bother to look to my right, which I should have done, but I didn't. And I just start shooting this guy, which I take him down. I didn't kill him, though. I think he was crawling at that point. And then I just get lit up by 2 guys on the right side of me. So, yeah. No support. Where was my team? My team was too busy.
We did the decent thing of looking down and thinking, shit, we're out of here.
yeah. It was
But
Top Gear, just leave them behind.
Yeah.
As a good teammate, I started spectating. And I was like that little voice on the back of your head that was telling you you wanted to remember. Like, reload your weapon, Robin. Reload your weapon.
But again, teamwork. Use teamwork. But again, what other game would you do that in? If you get there's games there last night where I was maybe killed within the first 2 minutes, and I was sitting quite happily spectating for 15 or 20 minutes because you still feel like you're part of the game. It just has that magic ingredient. The things that they've
real quickly, I'm sorry, Robin. I'm gonna just
no.
You for a second. They coined this game as a battle royale game, but I honestly, I don't feel it is genuine to the experience. To me, this is and I added to this now, so I'm calling it massive tactical loot shooter. That's what this game is.
Massive
tactical loot shooter.
MTLS.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. It's getting better. Maybe it needs a bit of work, but it's getting better.
Trademark.
Okay. So they have updated some. Okay, they've updated some stuff in the game. So they've updated squads. So it used to be we were always looking for a 4th. Now you can start.
But yeah,
you can. Oh yeah, you got a random, but now you can start it with a 3 straight away. But it seems to throw a random into it anyway, so it's a bit of a fudge.
That was my error. That was my error. So when you get into squads, depending upon how many people you have in your party, it will give you the option of still doing 4-man squad, where if you need an extra person, you can pull an extra person in, or if you use the bumpers, you can highlight 3-man squad and just start the game up with just your 3. So
that is a huge improvement.
Yeah. So that was on me.
That's good. I would like to say the game is more stable, but it ain't.
It
But it's
wasn't until the
definitely
last
running-
game I was in, and
Yeah.
it crashed 3 times in one game. But up till then, it was okay, and it seemed to run better
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, we stayed with you as long as we could,
Yeah.
and you survived for quite a long time. Fraser and I and Mark were played in a team of 3, and you crashed a few times, and we stayed until the big circle came to get us. But you survived for about an extra 2 or 3 minutes before the red bar, and we seen you dying.
Yeah.
But it's funny the way it happens, because you crashed more than me, but we seem to crash at exactly the same time.
Yeah, one
So
of the
it's-
points we did. Yeah.
It's a net code thing of something that's making it happen.
Well, I
don't know.
did a full
Vehicles
reboot of my
play.
Xbox just in case.
Yeah. I've heard vehicles tend to be kind of moments of crashiness. So I don't know. I mean, that's in forum talk, so I don't know that that's
I don't know.
necessarily been confirmed.
Don't know, but it's definitely running smoother when it is running. I feel that definitely, and it will just get improve. Again, this is not the finished article, so, and they seem to be at it constantly at the moment. So, yeah, it's great. I know we talked a lot about PUBG over the last while, but it is magic. Now, my son and a few other people would say, Dad, I don't really like it. Fortnite is an awful lot better. And he's playing Fortnite an awful lot at the moment.
And it's okay to be wrong when you're young.
Yeah. I think the difference is, and it probably is better. It's more polished. It's smoother. But I think the thing with PUBG for me is it's sort of grounded in some sort of reality, where the
Right.
Fortnite is very cartoony. And I like that, the real feeling of the PUBG sort of thing. You know, it's a
also,
real.
as bad as some may claim PUBG's shooting is in the Xbox version compared to the PC version, the Fortnite console version is horrific. The gunplay in Fortnite is absolutely atrocious. So much so that they are going to completely revamp their shooting mechanic.
You're talking about Fraser here, because he can't hit a barn door in the Xbox. So, it's terrible. But that's just him. That's just old man. It's just amazing. I mean, when we're playing with Fraser, he knows every inch of that map. Oh yeah, over here there's this wee thing, or over there. Yeah, watch out, there's a big dip here. He knows it all. It's just the hours that man has put into that. That is divorce fodder.
Well,
Get yourself in check, Fraser.
I think he mentioned on his last Game Punches what finally came out. I think he's got over 500 hours in it now on PC.
Wow, that's a lot.
Crazy.
Anyway, it's good. Look, and if you see us playing it, please jump in. It's not dear.
Yes.
Pick it up. It is. Be of the moment. Be with it. It's going to be around for a long time with this community. I
I can
think.
see us playing with
So,
it a long time. Yeah, absolutely.
And
I
if
can-
for some reason, just to throw that out there, I have tended to keep my parties invite only. But if you see me on, shoot me a note saying, "Hey, do you have extra room in your party?" Because the reason why I do party invite only is because you want to try and keep it to the people you're playing with. When you have other people in your party talking about other stuff, it kind of distracts. And one thing about PUBG, if you're not playing it with a headset that you can, have good audio clarity, you're doing yourself a disservice, because half of this game, if you ask me, is also about the audio, because you can tell where gunfire is coming from. You can tell where footsteps are. So that's the tactical part of it that really comes into play.
We had the exact same thing on PC with Discord. Once we'd got enough people for 2 squads, having both squads in one chat room, it was you couldn't do it. So I had to set an extra overflow
Seen
chat
that
group.
over extra life.
Yeah. So
Okay, so
absolutely.
I need to come clean about the headset thing. I mean, you guys know this. So, my kids broke my Xbox headset, so it was bust. and I had to play PUBG, and the only thing that I could get to work was
Come
a
on, spit it out,
PlayStation
Robin.
4 earbud that came with the original PlayStation 4, and it worked really well without problems or issues. Yes,
Right. Well,
that's what I had used.
Yeah. In fairness, you also tried to use an Apple product on a Microsoft console, and
It just slowed my console down.
No, you put those headphones in, and instantly all you heard was. I was like, get that off.
Don't know. Big buggers. Anyway, and my new
Well done,
headset are
Mark,
out
by the
today. It's gonna be kept separately in a little cloth bag or something, like my Elite controller, and it will only be for me. It's not that they broke it in half. They've tugged the jack lead and broke the wires. So as well as the headset, I've ordered a couple of new jacks to see if I can be like Fraser. He would tackle this and fix it. So I'm going to try and solder the 5 little wires in. I don't know if I have the dexterity and skill with a soldering iron, but they've arrived today.
I've got a pro tip for you and everyone else. You want to get one of them?
Okay.
It is a right-angled jack plug adapter, and you plug that into your controller, and then your headphones in the bottom. Then if that does go, it's only £2 something on Amazon, and it doesn't ruin the headset because the lead's part of the headset. Now I had a different problem. My chat pad's crackly on my headset, so I'm gutted. I can't use my chat pad anymore. But
chat pads were always a bit funny, even on the 360 the odd time.
Yeah, but the headphones I got this year for my birthday, I had to get because the plug was dodgy, and that's why I bought one of these, and it makes a huge difference. Just having it out of the way, because I rest it on my fat belly. So.
Yeah, I would say this. Yeah, second pro tip: if you are investing in a aftermarket headset for really any console, whether it be the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox, or God forbid you're playing on a Nintendo console. Just kidding. Don't hate. But make sure you get a headset that has volume controls on it that are outside of it, because you could get headsets that are just basically plug and play, that don't have any volume controls on it. They rely on the console itself, but that's really not optimal. You want to be able to control your volumes and your chat mix, if you will, off the headset itself if you can. It makes makes your life a thousand times easier.
The ones that came today, and it was a cheap set. I've usually bought good things, but this is a cheap set, but they seem to be working well. They have a volume control on the cable, but I have to still use it with the little the wedge. So you need to use the wedge still into the lead controller. So I have the mixer controls on the wedge thing that goes into it. So hopefully it'll work out okay. All right. So to stumble back into where I had stumbled onto before was a good list, because it sort of was a good thing when we were talking about sales. But a roundup of the best-selling video games of 2017. This came out, and that's in the last few days. This came from Motley Fool. Motley Fool are a big stocks and shares website. They've been going for a long, long time, so pretty reliable. And this is up to about the 28th of December. So what they're saying is the top-selling games, the top 10, Call of Duty World War II is at the top with 2.28 million copies sold and still going strong. Destiny 2 was second. No big surprises there, I suppose. Those sports franchises that people seem to buy every year, NBA 2K18 and Madden, NFL. By the way, these are North America as well. And then we have Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, Wildlands. Then a nice surprise there for Breath of the Wild, which is single console only. Nice to see that in sixth. Amazingly, Grand Theft Auto 5 is in the top 10.
Yeah, wow.
5 years? It's 6 years?
But it's just recently come out on PC, though, hasn't it, as well? And it's been in a lot of sales. It's been in a lot of sales. Oh, it's so good, though. It's such a good game.
But, I mean, Wildlands hasn't had a lot of big press. But if you're thinking that the top selling one sold 2.28 million, Call of Duty, Wildlands has sold 1.6, which isn't shabby at all. No. I mean, that's really good. It's done really, really well. Then surprise, For Honor is at number 8. Injustice 2 and Horizon Zero Dawn came in below Zelda, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah,
seeing
especially with the
there
number
are
of
so many
PS4s, yeah. The install base.
compared to, you know, as a percentage wise, Zelda has really batted above its weight as far as the consoles are concerned. And that sort of brings me into...
Mind you, isn't the Zelda game available on the Wii U as well as the Switch?
It is. But again, there was just a very, very low install base there.
Yeah. 15.
What?
But I mean, Zelda was the reason you bought a Switch.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and that was the game that was coming out at launch. I mean, it was like, oh, this is why you get a Switch.
I've heard people say they've bought that game before they bought the Switch.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah. I did buy Zelda with the Switch at the time. It came with the thing, but I bought the Switch to have the Switch. Yeah, it's funny. I said there was a problem with my base. My base charging unit is away back to Nintendo now. It hasn't returned, so they're going to repair that and get it back. But that sort of ties into what the analysts are saying, are predicting that the Switch, and this is quite amazing, is the 5th best-selling tech product of 2017. So what they're saying is, this is an estimate which comes from GBH Insights. It's a market research firm, and they're saying that the console hybrid portable beast has a number of things going for it this year, which was the Zelda, of course, and Super Mario Odyssey, which really helped sales, and then tons of little indie games appearing on it. And I think the relationship with Nintendo and on the indie developers has not improved, but they've seemed to have embraced it. And of course, if you were an indie developer, why would you not want your game on there? Because there's not that much as far as the library is concerned. You've got probably if you only need to sell 500,000 units to make your game successful, the Switch is probably the place for it to be. Anyway, so what they're saying is this is what is all these factors contributed to making it the best-selling dedicated gaming device of the year. So it doesn't have a plug socket. You can carry it around the bus. But when you put it into comparison with the things that sell the most, they're saying that it's going to be 15 million units this year. Not too shabby for a launch console at the beginning of the year from February. 15 million Switches, 223 million iPhones, 33 million Samsung Galaxy 8s and Note 8s, even the Echo Dot, the Amazon Echo, Alexa, 24 million of those. An Apple Watch, amazingly, 20 million units. So 15 million's a lot, but compared to like an iPhone, 223 million. Wow. But, you know, it's good for gaming that now, at the beginning, you think back a year ago, this time last year, it was, will it do? Will it go? Will it be another damp squib? It seems to be secure as now a really viable third option for gaming.
You know, I mean, at the clip it's going, to be perfectly honest, it could take second. I mean, depending on how long this generation lasts. I mean, it's doing gangbusters. So the Switch definitely has brought Nintendo back from. I mean, honestly, a lot of us, well, not a lot of us, but I think a lot of people were hinting that Nintendo was in trouble. That, you know, the Wii U, the disaster that was. And quite honestly, the way the Wii finished up was very telling of the future for Nintendo, and that they were, you know, this was their last-ditch effort to right the ship. I didn't necessarily buy into that per se, but, you know, Nintendo certainly had a really bad stretch. So it's great to see them coming back around. And, you know, even if I'm not a Nintendo lover, I want to see Nintendo in the industry.
I actually really like the Switch, and I actually want the Switch. And it gets me thinking, what would have happened if they would have released a Switch instead of a Wii U? It'd be a completely different picture now. The Switch would be huge right now, and Nintendo wouldn't have got as much flack as what they got with that Wii U. Like you say, I think that was a wrong direction they went in. But yeah, the Switch.
Yeah, well,
really good.
Well, Sorry, I was going to say I think the problem with the Wii U was Nintendo. I think the vision of the Wii U, quite honestly, is a very similar vision to the Switch.
Yeah.
I think the problem is with the Wii U, they decided it was too risky, or maybe, again, I don't know internally what they were thinking at Nintendo, but it certainly feels like they didn't want to create a console that directly competed with the 3DS at the time, and so the Wii U was kind of that half step towards creating something that was truly portable, because it really wasn't truly portable. It was portable within your house, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
But the Switch, for all intents and purposes, is going to kill the 3DS.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have a 3DS anymore now that you have a Switch. So the Switch is going to become their flagship console, both handheld as well as home-based. And so really the Wii U was just they were too afraid to take that step. But when they failed as hard as they did, then maybe it was the wake-up call that they needed to say, we need to take that full step and fully realize the Switch, as the device it needs to be.
Yeah, I think Nintendo was scared of losing that casual audience as well, so they wanted to keep that casual audience, because they were on such a winner with the casual side of things on the Wii. They wanted to try and retain some of that for the Wii U, which didn't pay off for them at all.
I think whoever they've got now in their marketing department, I think they've got their finger on the right buttons now. And we're going to be hearing an awful lot more from them. So over the next, it started now, so over the next 2 to 3 years, there's a new, it's called Super Nintendo Land, and it is going, Super Nintendo World, and it's taking a large chunk of the park in Universal Studios Orlando. And the work is about to start on that now. And if you look at the plans, I've sent you a link there, Mark. I don't know if you can throw them up, but it looks like it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Just it looks cool with themed rides. Not just one little ride. It's going to be like you go in through one of the green tubes into the Nintendo world, and it's everything Mario and that whole. And you can just imagine a big company like Universal getting their hands on something like that, and that's going to be here for years and years to come. So they are getting into the.
Sorry, real quickly. In terms of Nintendo, speaking of their success, looking at the chat real quickly. Shout out to Baron von Glower, who also threw in, kind of a note that I hadn't really thought about, but it speaks volumes. Again, is that. Nintendo, the Switch games have all made their release dates this year. We haven't seen anything slip. Nothing's been pushed out this year. I know the previous Zelda, or the Zelda game, Breath of the Wilds, did slip when it was on the Wii U, and they pushed that out. But this year, everything they promised to deliver this year has come through. And I think that also has been a real positive thing for Nintendo. So Nintendo's really just firing on all cylinders. That's it's kind of undeniable.
And I'm really enjoying my Switch now. I think what really got me was over Extra Life playing Odyssey, Mario Odyssey, and I played it not on the handheld, but I played it on the big screen with a Pro controller, and that looks gorgeous and it plays really well. And there's not bugs, everything Nintendo. It was perfect. There was no weird things that needed loads of patches. They test those things to death. They really, really well. So great stuff. It's good. Competition's good, and that quirky variety that they have is brilliant. And it's interesting to see some of the titles that they're going to port over to it. So anyway, okay. Moving on. Go back a wee bit to PlayerUnknown's Battleground, PUBG. On Steam, it has now hit 3 million concurrent players, and they're also saying in half as many bans. So PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, the Battle Royale game, or it's also now known as a
MLTS. MLTS?
Yes, MLT. No.
MTLS, is it?
Yes.
MTLS.
Massive
MTL. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Trademark.
Royale,
Copyright trademark.
Yep.
So 3 million players concurrently on PC alone. So I'm sure you can stick another million or more on Xbox. So now that the game has officially exited early access on Steam, it makes sense that the numbers are going to jump up. In September, the numbers exceeded Dota 2's at 1 million. In October, they exceeded 2 million. And now, with a new map and vaulting, the game players topping 3 million. Now, what they're also saying is that these numbers have been floating around for a while, but they were proven fake before today. And SteamDB have confirmed the actual milestone on Twitter. What they're also saying is a more concerning milestone was that it comes from anti-cheating service BattlEye, which announced that 1.5 million accounts have already been banned from Battlegrounds. So, so that there's about 5% or almost 6% of the player base was banned for cheating or abusive behavior. And I don't mind that in the slightest. Ban the cheaters.
Ban the cheaters.
No.
And when a game has this kind of success, there's absolutely going to be waves of this kind of thing that come out. I mean, look at Call of Duty
on PC.
All it went through. Yeah. I've heard the aim bots, there's lots of that has been going on of late, but they are looking to address it, which, that's all you can hope for. I don't think it will
makes sense. That makes sense now why Fraser can't do anything on the Xbox. So he must be using an aimbot on the PC. That's what it must be. Okay, another weird and twisted little thing. If you whiz onto your Xbox One App Store right now, Kodi is now available. Now, I can't imagine it staying on the Xbox Store for that long. Maybe it is becoming legit. What Kodi is, it's a media streaming service that you plug in. Correct me, Mark, here. You plug in the streams where you want to stream from, and there can be some very dodgy ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of legit ones on. Yeah, there's a lot of legit ones on there, like YouTube and BBC iPlayer and Twitch even's on there. But yeah, there are some repositories what you can add on there, which link to unofficial illegal sites, let's say.
Right. But basically, it's the formerly known XBMC Media Center.
Yeah,
that's what this used to be.
Yep.
They renamed it Kodi.
And the actual Kodi app itself is not in any way illegal. It doesn't do anything illegal. It's the add-ons what do the illegal bit.
Correct. And
okay,
I will say this.
Okay. Oh, bullshit.
No, it isn't.
Bullshit.
No.
Napster was not an illegal piece of software. But Napster allowed you to do something very different with your dodgy MP3s.
No, Napster at the time, because I was very much in this scene, Napster was allowing you to do very dodgy things. It was not the same. It actually was allowing you to, and it was helping you pull and rip illegally downloaded music. So that,
Same thing.
this.
Same thing.
No. Kodi is not assisting you in linking to or downloading anything dodgy. And furthermore, the version on the Xbox One, from what I understand, it is basically utilizing Windows apps for now. And I could be wrong, but I think you can link it to your own PC and things of that nature, kind of similar to Plex. But I don't think it's not just open to the Wild West. There is a modicum of curation on this version of Kodi for the Xbox One.
Okay. Right. That might be true, and I might be wrong. But then again...
either way,
right.
exciting if it stays on and it's there, because I know a lot of people have wanted a XMB type media center for the Xbox. Plex is on there, but that is I believe a paid for service. It's similar yet different.
Yeah, I've got the Plex server thing on the Mac, and when it came to Xbox, I thought, great, I can stream all my media from the Mac, but you have to use a premium service, which is a paid monthly, and I thought, fuck that, delete. So yeah, quite annoying.
Do you know what the nice thing is that these sorts of apps are becoming available on this platform now.
Yep.
And again, the lines are blurring between PC and a console, so that's good. More choice.
Choice is good. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's about all our fucking news. Where's our jingle?
Yeah, you never asked me for jingles.
No, it didn't really. It sort of
No.
merged, didn't it? But we're going to have a little bit of a quiz.
Oh,
Yes.
goody good.
Do you want a jingle for that one?
Yeah, I'll have a jingle for that one,
Right,
please.
okay.
This is going to be slightly incorrect.
Trivia questions in from Jason Johnson. Thank you very much. Love it.
Do I need to change the jingle now?
Okay, so while I ask you the questions, I'm going to do something really, really bad. I'm going to open a packet of something I've never had before.
Oh,
So-
yeah, we need to talk about this first. Robin, can you please explain to the audience what it is you are opening up?
Oh, God. I'm opening a pack of sweet and hot beef jerky. Jack Links. Yeah. So I've never had beef jerky before. That's something that they had in Westerns.
What's the
And it
smell
always
like?
reminded me of
What's the initial reactions, first impressions?
a bit of salami, a bit of cheesy Wotsits. Oh, no. Bacon fries.
All right, yeah.
Bacon fries. Yeah.
Robin,
Yeah.
Get
yeah.
ready for your mouth to have an explosion of flavor.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. You said that to me one time before. Okay, so piece of beef jerky. All right, so we have got some trivia questions for Mark and Gertrude. So, question number 1. By the end of the financial, by the end of March financial year, March 2013, how many copies of Aliens Colonial Marines were sold?
I wonder who made this quiz up.
Yeah.
50.
Wait a minute.
Was it 1.31 million?
In your dreams.
Was it 0.91 million? Was it 2.61 million or 4.51 million? How many copies of the wonderful game Aliens Colonial Marines were sold? 1.31 million, 0.91 million, 2.61 million, or 4.51 million. Oh,
So
Greg.
I need your answers after 3. 3.
That was a dick move, Robin. It was a dick move.
I put my dick move back in for you.
hey, Greg, this is fucking awesome.
I told you.
Wow.
America.
That's
Fuck yeah.
That's
Hang on,
spicy.
hang on,
Lovely. Wow.
That's on a different page. Hang on, here we go. Where is it?
Oh. Okay. I take it
Baron
that-
von Glower. Baron von Glower has a better question from the chat. By the way,
Yeah.
he the quiz question should be how many were returned.
Very good. Okay, so we have two answers. Mark has said A, 1.31 million, and Gertrude has said 2.61 million. The actual correct amount that was sold was 1.31 million copies of Aliens Colonial Marines. How about that? It didn't completely tank, did it?
No, a lot of people were duped into buying that game.
I've actually got it. I've got the PS3 disc copy down here, which I've never
Yeah.
played. I got it for about £2.50.
Yeah, I bought it thinking it was going to be something fantastic based on everything. Yeah.
Oh,
Sweet and
that's
spicy.
So okay, I can say the beef jerky wasn't rotten. It was actually very tasty. Now it does say it has 80 calories. Is that the whole pack? And it says it's 96% fat free. I'll have to look into that. Wow,
No,
that's good.
It's very lean. The
And you-
calories is serving size. So I don't know how many servings
What's
are
the
in there.
serving size? I wonder what a
That-
serving is.
Be one strip, won't it?
Oh, total. I don't know. Look at that. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Yeah, I may have to order a lorry load of that. Okay, question number 2. And the chat can answer this one as well.
By the way, just to answer Baron von Glower's question, by the way. Out of the 1 million copies sold, 1.2 million were returned.
I have them all in the back room here. Don't worry about it. I bought them all. Okay, so in July of this year, during our visit to Alcatraz Island, what color of top did Greg DeLacy wear? Was it red? Was it blue? Was it white? Or did he not wear a top at all on that particular day? Chat, you can join in if you want to. So during our visit to Alcatraz Island this year, Greg wore a top. Was it red? Was it blue? Was it white? Or did he not wear a top at all?
I believe I do recall this.
After three.
That was a dick move, Robin. It was a dick move.
And we have 2 answers. Are there any answers in the chat?
No
not
answers
yet.
as of right now.
No answers in the chat.
There's a
Okay.
15-second delay,
So
though.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, we have 2 answers.
I could have cheated and tried to look up the pictures on my phone. I decided not to do that.
We have a shot
Good.
answer. Baron Von Glower
Okay.
says San Jose Sharks blue.
Ooh.
And I
I
hope he's
don't
right.
believe
Well,
so.
Well, I'd like to say that there are 2 answers. They're both different. One of you is correct, and one of you is wrong.
If Greg's not right, then there's something wrong here.
No, I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, and the correct color of T-shirt was, thankfully, we just tested Greg's memory. It is red. I am sorry, Mark, you were wrong. You weren't there, but it was a good guess anyway. It was a red T-shirt. These are very video game related questions tonight, boys.
Yes. Ironically, too long ago, and I couldn't remember if it was a picture of me or you, Robin, honestly. But I came across, as I was going through my phone looking at pictures, there was a picture of one of us in the solitary confinement cell, and I couldn't remember if it was me or you, but I just remember seeing a red shirt. So,
Okay, final question. Mark has one dog. He has 2 dogs. He has 1 dog and a cat, or 2 dogs and a hamster. Which of these things does Mark have? I know you're at an advantage here, Mark.
Yeah.
So I know it's a bit one-sided, but that we have to balance. So 1 dog. If you get this wrong, Mark, you're in trouble. 2 dogs, 1 dog and a cat, or 2 dogs and a hamster.
I'm going to just lead the way on the answer here, because I think it's safe to say Mark doesn't need to answer this question, but I would like to roll through my my thinking on this.
Martin's put 4 dogs and 4 rabbits. Robin likes his carrots, so that's why he sent all the rabbits over.
Yeah. I believe it is 1 dog. I believe it is Jasper, if I'm not mistaken. I don't recall seeing a second dog. I think your son or nephew or somebody brought a dog over at one point. So you had 2 dogs in the house.
Yeah,
but you don't have 2 dogs.
We nearly had 2 dogs, but my mum has the second dog. When we got our dog, we got my mum another dog. We was gonna have 2 dogs, but my mum had him. Little Jake. He's like Jasper, but a bit smaller. And he's become my mum's great companion since we lost my dad. So, but this is close to this because we do have a hamster in the house, but it's Jason's hamster.
Yeah.
So,
I was about to say.
So technically, we do have a dog and a hamster in the house, but that was
not an option.
Yeah,
by
but
the way.
Jason's.
Thankfully,
it's Jason's hamster. It's not my hamster. So yeah, 1 dog.
So if I can add up the scores, I see that, and 3 plus 1 is 2. 4 divided by 3. It's a draw. Fantastic. In the last quiz of the year, it's a draw. Very, very good. Very good. Yay. I think it's a quality quiz this week. Really was. Okay, I'm going to hand over to somebody else who wants to talk about what game releases. Greg, we have heard so much of you. Can you take the game releases for the next week, please?
I can do it.
Okay, so moving on.
Damn it.
Yeah. How many games are out this week?
Zip, nothing, diddly squat, sweet fa.
F.A. Sweet fa.
Well, excuse me.
Bloody
if you're going to
Americans.
say F-A. It should be F dot period dot A period. I'm just saying.
Smart ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grammar police in the house. Just saying.
Yeah, and he calls it on tonight.
So tonight we were lunchtime today. Charlie, as I was saying earlier, was playing Fortnite, and we had to call Charlie, come for lunch, Charlie, come for lunch. No, I'm in the middle of a game. Come for lunch, no. So I looked into the sunroom and seen on the screen he was playing with a guy called Luke Markovich. And I said, well, who's that you're playing with there? Who's that in your team? Oh, he's in my school. Okay. And is he in your class? You know him? Yeah, he's in my class.
He's a
Oh,
teacher.
with a name like that. God, I hope not. And I says, okay, with a name like that, Charlie, he must be from somewhere different,
Southern Island.
Luke Markovich. And Charlie goes, yeah, he's from Portlanone. That's about 4 miles away up the road. And Judith and I just burst out laughing. Anyway, the beauty of kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Greg, I'll give you a wee bit
we
talking.
We do have some freebies though.
Yeah.
We do have some
Yeah,
freebies.
you
before we talk
PlayStation ones have been announced as well.
You don't
Yes.
usually do this, so you do this. Yeah.
So this month's games with gold for January, that is, got announced. I think we talked about this last week, but just to recap, on the Xbox One, you're going to get the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 3. I did not know they made 2.
Yeah, it's actually available now. You don't have to wait for the
available
first. I don't know why I've done it early, but yeah, it's available now. Is that one?
Yep. Well, get it now while you can. You only have 31 days to get it. It'll be on until January 31st. The next game that will be coming to Xbox Live Gold is Zombie, which is the Zombie U game that came out on the Wii U a few years back. So that'll be available January 16th through February 15th. And then on the 360, Tomb Raider Underworld will be available the 1st through the 15th. And then Army of Two. If you never played Army of Two, not the worst game in the world. That'll be available January 16th through the 31st of January. And then PlayStation Plus owners actually have quite a good month this January. Deus Ex Mankind Divided for the PS4. The one that to me I'm excited for PlayStation owners. Batman, the Telltale series.
I've not actually got that, so I'm looking forward to that. Yep.
Star Blood Arena, which is a PS Plus bonus PSVR game. I think they're going to be doing this pretty regularly, including in a VR game when they can. That's You, which is a PS Plus bonus game for the Play Link, which is basically their phone-based game service. Then Scared 3 for PS3 owners.
Or even Sacred 3.
Yes. Sacred 3.
F.A.
Scared 3. Sacred 3. My bad. We also have Book of Unwritten Tales 2 for PlayStation 3. And then if you have a PS Vita and you still have it, you can get Psycho Pass, Mandatory Happiness, and Uncanny Valley.
That's also a cross-play on PS4, is that Uncanny Valley? I've heard a lot of people mention that. I've never actually looked into it, but is that any good? Does anyone know? It's quite intriguing me, is that? The name of it as well. I'll have to look that up, I think.
Okay. Oh, beef jerky. I think it's my new favourite thing. Wow.
You're making me hungry, Robin.
Okay.
I'm here to help, Robin.
Play dates. Yeah. Play dates. When we're playing, play with us. We don't bite. Nicole bites. But that's it. But, if you see us playing, jump in with us. We love to play with different people. Okay, I'm going to handle this next one.
Yes, you should.
Yeah. So the year of Living Dangerously officially ends tomorrow. But it doesn't really, because quite a few people started it in January and February. And I will keep the logs going until everybody finishes. That's your jockstrap. Please tell me that's not a jockstrap. Oh, goodness, I see it now. Okay, I thought that was... Goodness, Greg DeLacy. Anyway...
that's his 3-ball bag protector.
Yeah. So I've been doing a lot of work in the background over the last couple of days, putting together a lot of stats for the amount of games that have been finished and the games that you wanted to finish but didn't. And the stats are Some of them are very, 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 very interesting. It's very surprising the way it's all worked out. I'm going to record a little dirty 30 minutes over the next day or two before I get back to work and get that up to round up the official end of the year of Living Gamers. It has been tremendously successful. Thank you very much for all the people that bought into it. But it's on the back of our Victory Achieved. And Victory Achieved is when you finish a game, which is what the year of Living Gamers is all about, finishing your games. What you do is when it gets to the credits, you take a photograph of yourself with the credits, or in the background, and you tweet that off to @OC_podcast with the hashtag Victory Achieved. And you can win $20, £15 gift card for PSN, XBL, Steam, or for that Nintendo thing we were talking about. And we are now at the end of a quarter. And earlier on today, Computer 3 was picked to randomly draw a completion from 804 completions. Oops, that's not right. Sorry, I'm telling you absolute pants. It was 240 in the last quarter. It's 804 completions in the whole year. That's about 2.2 completions a day. Very good, very guys out there. 800 in 1 year. And
2.2 completions in 1 day. That I would be sore probably. Just saying. Yeah. So that's a lot of completions.
It's impressive
Robin.
stats. Yeah.
And 804 games completed by our listeners and entered into the draws for Victory Achieved. There have already been 3 winners of Victory Achieved this year already. The first quarter was Colin for the win. The second quarter was John Mouse. And the third quarter was Womble MK3. And they've already received their money. And drawing at random earlier on today, the winner,
we need a drum roll.
Drum roll, please. Ooh. On the 17th of the 11th in the year 2017, Cybull27 finished Titanfall 2, and for that honor, he wins money. Mark will be in touch with a tweet over the next 24 hours, I'm sure.
Yep.
Organize your winnings. So that's fantastic. That's really good. Well done.
Absolutely.
Next Victory
and the game he won it on as well is an awesome game.
Yes.
Yeah, fabulous game. One of the games that's really hard this year, but one of the games I had the most fun with as far as the story and gameplay is concerned. Titanfall 2.
Yeah. Our last year's self-proclaimed game of the year.
And talking of Game of the Years, we'll be having our Game of the Year podcast next week, I believe. Is that right, Greg? Game of the Year show.
There's potentially some changes to that, so hang tight on this. Right. We'll talk about that in just a little bit.
I'm hanging.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, because plans and stuff.
Plans are.
Okay, so victories achieved this week. A big victory achieved in the year of Living Dangerously for Terraform. Terraform, he finished Rebel Galaxy. He finished Inside.
Great game.
And he finished Mr. Shifty.
Never heard of it.
Now, unfortunately, he wanted to finish his dirty 30 games on Skyrim, which is a 38-hour game. And he finished his 30 games on Mr. Shifty, which is a 2-hour game. But anyway, Terraform, congratulations. He finished his 30 games this year within his time period. Well done. Congratulations. You're a member of a group of about 5 people that have so far finished their year of Living Dangerously. So well done. Other people that finished games this week, Colin Allcars finished What Remains of Edith Finch. Not much. I ate most of her for Christmas dinner. Infected Psych, he finished Forza Horizon 2. And Viva La Pedros finished Virginia. So well done, everybody. Can you imagine 52 weeks of this soundbite?
You all have a victories achieved. Victories achieved. You have one. Victories achieved.
I just, again, want to reiterate, every time you finish a game, if you're listening to this podcast, I want you to hear that jingle in your head.
Yeah, it's just fabulous. It's just awesome. It's one of the best pieces of video recording ever. You know, that's going out into space right now somewhere. You know, and some alien will hear that sometime and want to come here to kill you.
Exactly.
That will start an interstellar war.
Yeah, we want to anal probe the hero and legend.
All right. Yep.
Okay.
I just remembered something I forgot to talk about.
Yeah. What did you want to talk about?
No, I'll get it in the shout-outs.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were going to say you got your OBE today, but no. Okay. All right. Speaking of anal probes, let's start to wrap this thing up. So, look, if you want to join in, and I'm going to ask one of you chaps to have a look at our shatters. If you want to join our live broadcast, you can do that. We have this thing called Chat. It's what Nicole called the chat accidentally one night, and it's been adopted. And it's you can live messages on the show. And you go to twitch.tv/OC podcast or mixer.com OC podcast, or you on YouTube as well. We're there as well at 11 o'clock in UK, 3 p.m. West Coast, 6 p.m. on the East Coast, and of course it's 11 a.m. in Wollongong in Australia. Sounds like a nice place. It's over on the East Coast of Australia. So please join over the chat. It can be a good crack. Who was in the chat tonight?
We've had a few people in there. We've had Martin. We had Sarah, who had to go earlier. Baron Von Glower. A new listener we had, or viewer we had last week, Fabulous Cool Hand, is come back this week, so welcome back.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Really good. Welcome.
And it's now got a spinning wheel, so I can't... Faye went in there. Did I mention Martin? Martin's always in there. He's a sturdy regular as Martin, so yeah. Been quite busy in this chat there.
So those people and the new listeners especially, because I'm sure all the old listeners have done this, they went onto YouTube or they went onto iTunes and left us a little review. That would be lovely if you could do that. It'd be nice if you could left us a little review. And of course, we have quite an active Discord community. If you go to discord.ocpod.com and follow the instructions there, you can join in and you'll hear about all the other stuff. And again, Facebook is very active with us too.
Yeah.
So, but there is another way you can contact us, and we have this beautiful, beautiful voice. These dulcet tones, which will return in 2018. Hit it, Mark.
You like us. We like you. See where I'm going with this? Follow us on Twitter at OC_podcast. Check us out on Facebook, fb.ocpod.com, or email us, podcast@ocpod.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Oh, we miss Nicole. Come back, Nicole,
Yes, we
soon.
do.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Let's get some shout-outs done. I wish everybody a Happy New Year and stuff like that there. Mark, do you have any shout-outs for anybody?
Yeah, I want a big shout-out to Kevin Fairweather, our PUBG superb specialist, because he's so good at that game, him and Sean. Thank you very much for the code for Forza Horizon 3, but my nephew is very happy. I also want a big shout out to Jason Johnson for all the trivia in 2017. He's been there practically every week with trivia questions. Have been really good. Some have been really hard because they've been Nintendo orientated, but yeah, it's been good fun, and thank you very, very, very much. How about you, Greg?
I want to shout out Waddles3634. Just saying, I don't know if it's a he or she, but it was hello, handsome guys. I'll take that any day of the week. So thank you for that. I want to, real quickly, a recommendation. If you like audio books, I have been listening to an audiobook series called Ember Wars. So the first book, book 1 and 2, are kind of a publisher pack, so you can get that together. Really cool sci-fi. I don't want to give away too much, but I mean, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Halo when it first started up, in terms of the human race facing something that they don't understand, and something that has very evil intentions for them. So very well voice acted. That's the other key. Audiobooks that have great voice acting, I really appreciate. And when the guys that are doing the audiobooks can give different sounds to different voices and characters, it makes it that much better. And this series has been tremendous. So high on my recommendation list to check it out. All right. Let's see. I want to shout out you guys. Robin, I want to shout out you. Especially you have been doing a fantastic job this year, not just filling in on host duties and taking over for some host duties on your days, but also you got the Yolg thing going. And I know we gave you a hard time at the beginning of the year, but that really was something. It was something this community really rallied behind. And so it's been fantastic to see that play out over the course of the year. And of course, you have also stewarded the victories achieved. And that is no easy task. I know how difficult that is. So I appreciate everything you've been doing there. Mark, you have been fantastic in terms of producing the show and really taking over and taking it to a new level that we never had before. So thank you for that. Thanks to
I learned
Nicole.
everything from you, Greg. Everything from you.
Like the basics of how to talk into a microphone. I think that's about what you learned from me. You took over in a very meaningful way. This is my big thank you show, by the way. Thank you to Nicole and Kim and Fraser, Viva La Pedros, Mike Chin. I'm trying to think of who else has guest hosted on our show in the past.
Phil Olsen, Gary Lever, Hardly Dan.
Hardly Dan.
Kyle Adams has been on a couple of times. Yep. Richard Natras.
Yep. Just thanks to everybody who's participated and jumped onto the show. It really has felt like a community again this past year. Yeah. And that has been super exciting to be part of.
I can't believe a year's gone already, though. It's gone so quick, man. But, yeah, I love doing this.
You're just getting old. You're just getting old.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. You're right, Greg. It is community, and I thank you very much. I just press buttons when I'm doing the Victory Achieved stuff, so just pressing buttons. Yeah, it does take time, but I enjoy it. You know, what else do I do? I don't go to the pub. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Fuck, I left my fags in the bar. But it's great to be part of something special, and this is something special, and the people that are in the chat are part of this. The people that we play with online are great. The people that we get the chance to meet, and we'll do a bit more of this next week, but the people I've met this year at EGX, at the different events that I've been at and meeting some of you guys, it's been really special, and it's a great community, great to be part of. It's a nice extended family. I would like to shout out, speaking of which, extended family, big happy birthday to Laura Roper. That's Ropes, isn't that correct?
Yeah.
It's her birthday today, yep. So happy birthday, Laura. Big shout out to Nicole and Fraser and the guys and Richard and Viva La Pedros and everybody else that we're going to have fun with next year. I will do my little Audible recommendation as well, because the Ember Wars is narrated by a guy called Luke Daniels. He's very, very good. If you want something a bit offbeat, nerdy as well, it's called Off to Be the Wizard, and there are quite a few of these books around. There's about 3 or 4 now, but Off to Be the Wizard by Scott Mayer, narrated by Luke Daniels. This guy comes across this little bit of code in his computer, and he realizes that he goes into this old text file and he types 6'3", he becomes 6'3", or if he types $1 million in his bank account, there's $1 million in his bank account, and so he can. What he does is adjusts the text file and he makes things appear and stuff like that, and he gets sort of caught by the FBI. They track what appeared in his bank account, so he decides that where can he go? He can realize he can sort of move himself in space and in time, so he can make the different date. So he goes back in time to medieval times and decides that he wants to be a wizard. But it just so happens that lots of other nerds had the same idea, and they went back to this same time as well. And they all sort of, so they could be like wizards because they could change this text file and look as if they were making magic. And it's nerdy, it's funny, it's good. So there's one to check out for you. Off to Be the Wizard by Scott Mayer. Pick that up and have a listen.
Robin, real quickly. Sorry, I have to interrupt. There is a great debate now in the chat right now over the fact that you have proclaimed that you don't drink and you don't smoke. I think it is also probably worth mentioning that you also are vegan and you don't eat meat of any kind.
No. No. Nom nom. I- Anyway, look here. It is now in Northern Ireland and in England and other parts of the UK. It is now New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So, in less than 24 hours now, it'll be 2018 in this our little country. I want to take this opportunity to wish every listener out there a very happy, a very prosperous, a really great gaming year. I hope things are good for you next year and we all have a bit of good luck coming around. And to my friends here on the screen up above me, Happy New Year to you guys. It's a pleasure and a privilege to podcast with you every week. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And we will speak to you next week with a very special roundup show. And yeah, that's about us. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yep.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Go Chargers.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.